Joining us now, criminal defense attorney Mark Geragos. Thank you so much for being here with us. So,
Geragos.
Did I say it wrong again?
It's okay.
Mark, please forgive me. We've
Nice
been having
to
this
see you again,
conversation
Mark.
for the last hour.
I will. My mother used to say it's the only word that rhymes with asparagus. So I'll give you
okay. Hemmer gave me no help. Asparagus.
Right. At all.
Asparagus.
At all. He just left you out. He just hung you out to dry.
Do you see what I go through, Mark? Do you see how hard it is to be me?
I do.
I wanted to ask you about Baldwin's attorney. Let me just tell you what he said. This is call for number one. This decision distorts Helena Hutchinson's tragic death and represents a terrible miscarriage of justice. Mr. Baldwin had no reason to believe there was a live bullet in the gun or anywhere on the movie set. He relied on the professionals with whom he worked, who assured him the gun did not have live rounds. So that's his lawyer. Do you have any sense, maybe from their side, that they think that Baldwin might have been overcharged here?
Well, I think clearly they think Baldwin was overcharged. And if you believe what Mr. Baldwin has been saying for the last over a year, he's been saying specifically, I'm being told by people on the inside I'm not going to be charged. And obviously he was misled if that was true. And by the way, the problem he faces on this is the involuntary manslaughter does not require him to have the intent. He doesn't have to have the mental state that he wanted to do this. It's negligence. And in New Mexico, it's really almost an ordinary negligence, just doing a lawful act unlawfully. That's the legal term for it. And and part of what you just played was interesting to me also, because I've been for an observer of this and have thought for over a year that he's got two roles on that set. One is producer, one is actor. They are coming at him under both theories. They're saying as the actor who pulled the trigger, even though he denies pulling the trigger, and also as the producer who was cutting corners trying to save money at the expense of safety. So they've kind of boxed him in, if you will.
Mark, let me share with the viewers here the charges right on screen. First charge, involuntary manslaughter. If guilty, could be up to 18 months. Second charge, involuntary manslaughter. Maximum sentence could be 18 months. The extra charge is the firearm enhancement. That could get you mandatory 5 years under state law in New Mexico. But Mark, accidents happen. And even if it is an accident, someone can still be held responsible. You're a defense attorney, and a pretty good one over the years. How would you defend Alec Baldwin in this case? Well,
I think what they were expecting to happen here is first they settled the civil suit, which is highly unusual. Usually you put the civil suit on the back burner and you deal with the criminal investigation first. But I think that their calculation was, if we can get the victims here to not be agitating for a criminal filing, that's the way to do it. Let's get rid of this. Let's get the insurance companies to pay them off. And let's get the widower executive producer credit so that he will also support the movie once it comes out. Well, what ended up happening here, what's ended up happening, is that the prosecutors, I think, were inflamed by one of the interviews and two of the other things that he has been saying. Number one, the fact that he said he didn't pull the trigger, which just provoked them to go get the FBI to do a study to say clearly he did pull the trigger. And the other, where he said in that interview with Stephanopoulos that I don't take responsibility, I relied on the professionals. That's where he's going to go with this defense. He's going to say, basically, I relied on them yelling it was cold, meaning there was no bullet in the gun, and I was following the direction of the director, who ended up dying tragically, and that's exactly why they didn't file any charges related to the other gentleman who was also shot, because that would have clouded the intent issue. Basically, they're just going to hang their hat on he was negligent, he negligently used that firearm, and if you believe the prosecutors, they think he's facing up to 6.5 years, the 1.5 plus the 5 years for the gun.
Mark, before we're going to run out of time, but would you suggest that he should plea?
Look, any good defense attorney, and he's got a very good defense lawyer, is going to always explore the idea of a plea. It's almost malpractice not to. You've got to, no matter what your client's telling you, you have to give them their options. And here he's facing, if he gets convicted on that one count with the mandatory use, he's facing 5 years in prison. So they're absolutely going to explore some kind of deal.
Wow. Mark, come back, okay? This case is going to go on for a while, and we'll bring back Mark Asparagus very soon.
Yeah, rhymes with asparagus. I'll never forget it now.
Exactly.
Now all of America knows.
Exactly.
Have a good weekend. Thank you, Mark.
Bye.
Talk soon.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.